Super Bowl champions, as I'm sure you're aware. This is probably one of the easier breakdowns to do. I mean, we pretty much know what to expect from the Chiefs from this point. As far as strengths, I mean, it pretty much goes without saying. We know what they are. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the most unsung hero on the Chiefs organization is Steve Spagnuolo. Doesn't matter what pieces they lose on defense come playoff time, they will be the hottest defense every single year. So Spagnuolo is still there, and there's really not much to not like. So instead of going through the positives, which obviously you guys know what the positives are for the Chiefs. In fact, now with the two receiving weapons, they might even the problem, they had a lack of deep threats last year. There just wasn't many big plays through the air, at least not based on what we're accustomed to seeing from Mahomes over the years. Well, they added. They got Worthy and they got Hollywood Brown, who's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. But still, they even addressed one of their issues, maybe help their numbers getting to man coverage, because Mahomes was actually really. The question is, was last year a fluke for Mahomes? Because Mahomes really struggled against man coverage, and he really struggled when pressured. So is that a fluke, or is that who Patrick Mahomes is without Tyreek Hill?
Doesn't matter. That's the question. Because if that's who Patrick Mahomes is and he's still winning Super Bowls, then at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Because Patrick Mahomes last season, if you look at the numbers statistically, I mean, they weren't even that good. Let me try and pull them up real quick. I don't know if I could actually pull them up on the screen, but I could try and read off some of these ranks to you guys. And they were pretty pedestrian, especially in terms of what Mahomes is putting out in terms of career output. Let me try and get them for you guys real quick. Come on, where are they? Okay, yeah. So 2022, this is the guy who was second in PFF grade, first in pass TD, second yards per attempt, fifth in big time throw rate, fourth in turnover worthy play rate, second in passer rating. Now we're looking at 2023. Those ranks are falling to 10th, 8th, 19th, 20th, 19th, 14th. This is not a guy who is somebody would think of as a top 5 quarterback. That's somebody who somebody would think of as a top 15 quarterback, not a Super Bowl MVP, a top 15 quarterback. So for Mahomes to not have even performed like a top 5 quarterback last year, and for them to have been 5th in pass DVOA, for them to have had 35 drops, for them to have had 9 wide receiver fumbles, for Kadarius Toney to have essentially cost them a game against the Buffalo Bills by lining up offsides or whatever that was, with Travis Kelce not getting that touchdown, whatever that thing was. It just shows that whatever obstacles go against this Chiefs team, they just somehow pull this bullshit off. It's absurd. So yeah, it's weird. You just can't doubt the Chiefs at this point. It sucks. It's like he's like the Tony Stark of the NFL MCU. So yeah.
He's the Tony Stark?
Patrick Mahomes is the Tony Stark of the NFL MCU, and just everything just keeps going his way.
Why?
He's right. No, I think he's right.
Yeah.
How is he Tony Stark? Tony Stark wins Super Bowls? Where's the metaphor there?
Motherfucker just keeps collecting the Infinity Stones.
What?
Yeah.
You do know that's how he died, right?
Yeah, but like his presence throughout the movies isn't collecting Infinity Stones. That's like one part. Whatever. This is stupid.
Dude, just let me have this.
I don't like that metaphor at all. Tony Stark. So, all right. I think we can all come to the consensus agreement that the Chiefs offense will be fine, even though we just saw Patrick Mahomes have probably the worst season of his career. I mean, he was, like probably said, a below average quarterback when pressured, a below average quarterback against man coverage. And what did that result in? Still won the Super Bowl. So the Chiefs offense is going to be fine. They added a couple deep weapons. They lost the left tackle, but they drafted one who should be at least formidable there at left tackle. I forget what's his name. I have it right here.
Kingsley
Suamataia at left tackle. So the spot on the offensive line they lost, they drafted a guy to take that spot. So the offense will be fine. I think there's definitely ways to poke holes in the defense, but we kind of have the same discussion. Doesn't matter because Spagnuolo will figure it out. Chiefs defense overperformed in a major way last year. This is a top 5, top 7 defense, and down the stretch at the end of the year was one of the best defenses in football. Really, the strength was the pass rush and Snead, though. And Snead is no longer there. And we were just talking about this. How big of a loss is L'Jarius Snead? Now, they still have McDuffie, so they still have a great corner. but
Yeah.
McDuffie's a nickel guy.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's very interesting to me because Snead is the outside guy. He's the press corner who's going to be on the outside. He could line up against the true number ones. McDuffie is the nickel guy. Now, he can line up outside. Don't get me wrong. McDuffie, he can go on the outside, but is he going to be doing that this season? I'm assuming so, because with Snead gone, you would hope that he's going to follow those true number one wide receivers. He is more than capable of doing so. He did so in the playoffs against the Tyreek Hills of the world, against those big name wide receivers. So I'm hoping he could do so here this season. But I mean, we need to go ahead and we need to see it for a full season of work. And can he handle that workload? Because if he gets hurt, this is a really scary secondary. I mean, do they have the experience to handle that? Because behind him, I mean, one second, let me go ahead and read some of these names to you guys.
The secondary
audience members, can you guys recognize? Raise your hands in the comments if you know these names. Najee Johnson, Joshua Williams, Jalen Watson. I mean, Jalen Watson, you actually may know. I believe he had a pick 6 against the Chargers on primetime. Kelvin Joseph, you know his name, not for good reasons. He's ass. So it's just not ideal. So yeah.
So basically, I think the defense is in a bit of a spot where if that pass rush for whatever reason isn't top 3 again, there could be a situation, and specifically against WR1s and WR2s on the edge. Because I mean, look, McDuffie in the nickel, I'm sure he's still going to be one of the best nickel corners, and maybe they throw him out on the outside, like you said. But certainly the names aren't there in the secondary to cover some of these guys. But the go to the pass rush numbers. I mean,
right there, first in just sack, 12th in pass rush. I mean, the formula is here to beat this Chiefs defense every single year. The problem every single year is the rush defense is awful. Every single year, 26 adjusted line yard, 22nd rush defense grade.
Yeah, they're a bottom 5, bottom 7 run defense. They were last year as well.
But the problem is the Chiefs offense is so potent that if they get a lead on you quick, it's pretty hard to try and run on them.
Yeah, and the way the way they're able to score points when they need it, they're almost completely cool letting you run down the field and take 3 on them. Yeah, because they're going to get this. They're going to get the touch. They're going to get the ball down the field and score the touchdown when they need to. So they're like, Spagnuolo is almost completely cool. Hey, you want to eat 6 minutes off the clock and take 3? Be my guest. Like, you're just not going to beat us over the top.
Yeah.
But maybe they can get beat over the top this year. Yeah. The run. They didn't really do much to address the run defense. Now Nick Bolton is 1 year the wiser, and he's very, very good in the middle. And
that linebacking core is sick. Leo Chenal,
Tranquil's cool too. Yeah, for sure. They got some linebackers. So where would the weakness? Why are they so bad against the run then? Because you look at their personnel, it's not that bad. I mean, you got Chris Jones. I guess he's more of a pass rusher though. But
he's definitely more of a pass.
But he's a disruptor across the board. Though,
yeah. Right? I mean, let me go ahead and look at the personnel. Let me try and. I mean, Karlaftis, edge rusher, not a run stuffer in any way, shape, or form. Wharton is not anything good when it comes to defending the run. Dana, also, same thing. True edge rusher, not really a run defender. So I think it's honestly due to the construction of their line more than anything. And Tranquil, again, I think he's a guy who is pretty good in the pass game when it comes to a linebacker. But Lord, I know from his Chargers days that he was really bad at defending the run. So I think when it comes to linebackers, their strength is more so defending the pass, not the run. So I think that's just their weakness as a unit. So
yeah. Andy, anything to say?
I mean, you guys covered it all pretty well. There's really not. Usually I'll add like a college guy or like something small in that I think could worry about this team. The only thing I could think of is the one left tackle leaving. Is that going to completely break an O-line that was pretty good blocking for Patrick Mahomes? Other than that, like, I don't see any issues here. You guys say the defense. I mean, the defense wasn't great anyway. I mean, the pass defense was fine. I still think that'll be fine. Yeah, they're going to get run on like crazy, but like you guys said, it's kind of strategy there. They really don't. They're kind of like, all right, you're already gonna be down a touchdown or 2 against us, so you're not gonna want to run on us. So yeah, I mean, this team's just built pretty perfectly every year anyway, and Patrick Mahomes makes up for really any faults that their receivers have. I thought when they signed Marquez Valdez-Scantling, they had their deep threat of the future. Clearly, he was not good last year, and I mean, I guess they didn't replace him, but again, I mean, Worthy, I'm very high on. I think he'll be good. He's very fast, but
You see him getting jacked up in the clip. I mean, the social media clip. Who knows? Like they run 500 reps and then one clip will go viral. So like, it doesn't mean anything. It was just funny.
He's small. I mean, he's not a big guy. I mean, the reason he's so fast, he's a tiny guy. He runs quickly. He's not like. I mean, they lost MVS, but MVS wasn't very good. He's like a lot of the guys they lost. Richie James is a small guy. Like he just takes over for those guys, but he's better than those guys. So I like him a lot. From Texas, I knew him. So. Yeah, I mean, I think they did fine. They're the Super Bowl champions. I don't really expect them to be anything less.
Yeah, there's really not much to say because, I mean, it's the same coaching staff. It's the same quarterback. What were the issues they had last year? They dropped a lot of passes. I mean, they added a couple receiving weapons. They were struggled against the run last year. They're probably going to struggle against the run again this year. There's almost not much to say about this team.
I think really there's only one. I think there's only one thing there could be said. I think if there is one spot where they could possibly take a step back, it would have to be defensively, right? Because, I mean, I feel like defenses are units where you kind of like plexiglass. They bounce back and forth due to injuries and different additions, subtractions, stuff like that. I mean, they did lose Snead. What is it? We could see some different injury factors and stuff like that. Chiefs were pretty relatively healthy unit last year, besides Willie Gay and different stuff like that. And then on top of that, if we're just looking at the defense for the Chiefs in 2022, this was a unit that was 14th in defensive DVOA in 2022. This unit jumped up to 7th in 2023. So maybe they are somewhere in between that, not as good in 2024. But I mean, honestly, still like 10th would be pretty good. So yeah, I don't know. Damn.
So what?
Damn good.
Why don't we play the win-loss game?
All right.
Prop Beaver's favorite game.
It's the best game.
This stupid ass.
Prop Beaver hates this game.
So
yeah, I do hate this
game. I mean, it is like meaningless to an extent because teams lose games that you don't expect them to lose, and they're going to win games you don't expect them to win. So going through it, obviously at the very least you need to take a look at the schedule before placing a future bet anyway. So even though it's meaningless to go through and say win, loss, that's meaningless. It's not meaningless to look at the schedule and have an idea of what you're dealing with here. So, all right, here is the schedule. All right. I got them 1-1 after those first two games. Now we could sit here and talk about which of the two they're going to win, but I have them dropping one. I think Cincinnati beats them and they beat Baltimore.
I mean, the Ravens are poopy. We all know that.
Poopy, he said. That's the adjective he used.
On YouTube, he said
on
poopy.
A live stream. So I am 1-1. I honestly could see him dropping one of week 3 and 4 too.
I could too.
You talked me into the Atlanta one before.
I could see them losing on the road in Atlanta, Sunday Night Football. That's like, the Falcons with their new look, that's their Super Bowl right there.
We're going to talk about Atlanta. Atlanta's defense is going
all right. How about this?
So
they lose to the Falcons, beat the Chargers, then beat the piss out of the Saints. Let's roll with that. Okay. 3-2 going into the bye. I could see them beating the 49ers, honestly, but this is probably a loss, I guess. I mean, they're certainly going to be underdogs.
No, I'm rolling with them 4-1 going into the bye. They lose to the Niners.
Okay, so you all right? So
I'm not going to vocalize mine. I'm doing it all mentally.
Oh, he's not going to vocalize it on our live show. He's not going to say it
because
on a live show.
It confuses the viewer.
Words. He's not going to say it
because it confuses the viewer. That we're doing two vocalized.
They're not kids. They can understand what's going on. All right. At San Francisco, all right, loss. Win Raiders, win Bucks, win Broncos at home. At Buffalo,
they're beating Buffalo.
They will probably beat Buffalo. Win.
They're gonna crush Carolina.
Carolina.
They're gonna lose at least one to the Raiders. They always have a close game with the Raiders.
I have the Chiefs 3-2 after 5 games, but then after the 49ers game, maybe 3-3. But after that game, we're looking at 7 straight wins.
I got them 10-4 with the final 3 on deck.
I could see that exact same thing. If you have them losing to Cleveland, I would have them 10-4 as well.
So
Houston, they'll be at Pittsburgh.
And
I got them. Damn, it's going to come down to whether or not they need those wins at the end. On the road to Denver, if the Broncos are battling for a wild card spot and the Chiefs are sitting with 11 wins.
I have them at 12 or 13, so I'm on the over here.
Andy's on the over.
I think that they'll
I'll go over as
they'll
well.
be the
I'll put them at
typical
12.
Chiefs, and they'll lose a game they shouldn't. They're not in there. The football ones are still on my computer at home. Not the NFL ones still on my computer at home. You have the college ones.
No, I have. Oh,
Yeah, I forgot to send the Chiefs one in today. It's at home.
I'm sorry.
Not
These
bad.
kids are rotten.
So I'll put them at 12
Not
wins.
bad.
Give me the over.
I remembered to send the college ones away today.
Oh, okay.
So I know that.
I know there's always a game on the schedule that the
Yeah.
Chiefs will drop that no one's expecting.
the Raiders. It's gonna be the
The
Raiders.
Raiders are going to beat
That
them?
Raiders. They did
I
it
think the
last year on
Falcons,
Christmas.
maybe?
Kyle, which one are you on? Are you on the over, Kyle? I'm sorry.
I got the over. Yeah, I got them at 12.
Okay. All right, then we're
It's
all in the freaking
This,
over.
I mean, I know the Raiders are worse than they were last year. Probably worse, up and down there. But that's, I think, the next team you have to do too. But yeah, I
That
think
is
that's
the next
the
one we
game
have to
that you circle that I'd worry about for them.
You don't have to worry about getting over up on the screen. They hurt us.
Yeah.
Prop Beaver, what are you on?
I'm on the over.
3 overs.
I don't
am
like
at
it, though.
12.
He didn't
I don't
vocalize
like it,
until
though.
now.
I'll tell you, though, people, don't bet this. Don't bet this. This defense is shaky. I'm scared about the whole Snead thing. I'm scared.
He's scared
But
about
when
the
you look
sneak
at the
thing.
schedule, like in order for us to hit the under, we have to have them losing games to teams that I just don't see it
I
happening.
mean, I can see
Here's
them
the thing
losing
that
to
I do
Atlanta.
like.
I can see them dropping one of the Chargers games or one of the Raiders games.
but like
I
you
don't-
could
well,
see
no,
them doing it.
No,
But like
no, we can't.
likely
Because
they're
here's the
not.
thing. Here's the thing. If the Chiefs are going to lose, you got to run them.